is looking more and more like the crypto golden age is right around the corner. Everything is looking good. Everything is lining up, and things like this lend credence to that idea. This article was titled OCC's Sue supports chartering regime for non-banks. That's important. That's major. That's huge. This is coming from payments.com, by the way. Acting comptroller of currency Michael J. Sue said he supports, quote, federal payments regulation and a chartering regime for non-banks, unquote. They got to bring them into the fold. They've had a problem defeating non-banking financial institutions. I'm talking about the legacy system. They can't compete with them. They've been able to sort of operate outside of a lot of these different regulations and limitations that fall upon the legacy system. Now they're trying to look to bring them into the fold. But for the new financial system, this comes with a lot of benefits, Wait, let me give them to you. Hold on one second. Let me go over here to this tab here. Here we go, right here. The potential impact of OCC, Office of Comptroller Currency, acting comptroller Michael Sue's support for a chartering regime for non-banks on DLT, distributed ledger technology companies like Ripple, would be significant. Let's keep going. This is going to break it down here, okay? Potential benefits, regulatory clarity. I mean, it's just looking like we're going to dominate at this point. The cryptos across the board at the top. Are you seeing it now? I mean, I don't know what you're seeing. That's why I'm asking the question. But are you seeing it now that we look dominant across the board? We look explosive across the board. Regulatory clarity. Imagine how much more dominant we'll be with regulatory clarity, a clear regulatory clarity. Because some people are saying we're approaching regulatory clarity now, but the waters are still very murky, even though it looks like we're heading towards that. I'm talking about absolute clarity. There's no question. There's no doubts about where everything stands. That's what I'm talking about. That makes sense. Then it says here, clearer operating framework, more defined compliance requirements, establishing pathways for licensing. 2, market access. Now, this is where it gets good. You make it this far into the video. Listen to this. Market access. Easier integration with traditional banking system. Boom. If that's not super bullish to people, I don't know what is. We're here for the banks. We're built for the banks. The banks are starving for us. And here we might get a easier market access to integration with them. There's thousands upon thousands of banks on the table suffering right now. They made it clear that they would love to use distributed ledger technologies. We read that from a variety of sources, apart from Ripple telling us that as well. I think it was the chief legal officer of Ripple that actually said it early on, about a year or two ago, something like that. But we read that from a variety of actual banking sources, that they want DLT technology. They need it, right? And they haven't, with these legacy system offerings, they haven't caught up yet. So we're in a dominant position, which equals value, which equals an explosion in price at some point. I think, theoretically speaking, not financial advice. But it continues on. So easier integration with traditional banking system, more direct access to payment systems, right? So it kicks the door open. Potential for broader service offerings. It continues on. Number 3, institutional legitimacy, which if you're legitimized, then obviously that brings the opportunity for more business. More business equals more money, more value, more assets, because we've got to remember RWA, tokenization. More assets, more value, which equals an explosion in the price of those native tokens. We read an article. I had an article the other day. I don't know if we covered it or not. My apologies if I didn't, but there was an article came out the other day where some institution was talking about how it's clear that the more value that's brought to chain, it will make the prices of those native tokens rise. Now, you make up your own mind how you feel about that. That's just what they were saying. There's no guarantees in anything, of course, but I found that very interesting. So my apologies, got to clear my throat just a little bit, wee bit. So now, enhanced credibility with customers, right? Easy, that's going to be huge as well. There's increasing deposit flight. I have an article somewhere around here where the banks, let me see if I have it. I don't know if I canceled that one out because I have so many articles today. But anyway, I'll just give it to you. The banks had something going on. Oh, I do have it. This is from the dailymail.co.uk. 6 regional U.S. banks are forced to issue urgent debit card alerts. So they're saying that somehow nefarious characters have gotten their hands on people's debit cards or debit card numbers or such. And now those people better be on the lookout because your money is at risk, right? Now, why do I bring that up? Because it's going to add to increased deposit flight. And where are those people going to go? Like I said, a lot of people don't know about money market funds. They don't know about money market accounts, especially not with the non-banking financial institutions. They had just been wrapped up in the legacy system with their offerings for so long. They definitely don't know about cash sweep accounts to a third party. So, I mean, other options for them would be commodities market, which a lot of people are not in the commodities market, but that's possible. I mean, commodities are getting a push. We shall see. But crypto is the easiest. And right now, and I said we were going to see this, we're starting to see little trickles of Bitcoin and crypto being pushed in the mainstream. Just a little bit, not a lot, a little bit. That major push hasn't started yet. When it does, you're going to see a flood of capital move into crypto, both from retail and institutional investors who both have cash on the side, huge cash pile on the side. Move into crypto hasn't happened just yet, but we're still seeing trickles of it. And so with that new conditioning, I think a lot of that value would come to crypto. I think a lot of these customers will come to crypto, especially if you have something like this. Once again, what does it say here? Enhanced credibility with customers. Yeah, that's going to go a long way. All of these things are little, very important pieces on the chessboard. It says here, easier partnership opportunities. Now, of course, partnership's going to bring in value, but also partnership, when people hear about that, when these partnerships are announced, that makes crypto very, very bullish. That makes people excited. That makes them want to invest more. And that's going to make, that has the possibility of making those prices explode also. So we definitely want easier partnership. This is huge. This is just, and once again, this is just my interpretation. You have to make your own. I hope other people cover this. This is a massive thing if it does indeed occur. But it shows, like I said, the energy of crypto is shifting majorly. The golden age is right around the corner. Crypto, those top cryptos, because once again, a lot of people are like, well, one coin to rule them all. No. Many of them will be going off. You're seeing it happen already. People are making a good amount of value. Not everybody, but a lot of people have been making a good amount of value off crypto already. And we haven't even gotten to the massive explosion yet. I did see Bitcoin hit 99,000 earlier today. Coinbase notified me. It hasn't even gotten 120,000 yet. 130,000 yet. Just wait until then. Then people are really going to start taking the eye to Bitcoin and saying, hey, how far is this going to go? They're going to start questioning retail, regular people that haven't even gotten back into Bitcoin or haven't gotten into it in the first place will come. That is a significant boost for sure. So now I don't put too much into retail, but when it comes to Bitcoin, I think about that. When it comes to bank coins, I don't. I mean, they're two completely different things. So I have to keep that balance there, but let's continue on because this could be huge. Number 4, operational advantages. More streamlined banking relationships. I'm here for that bank money. So pretty much what we're seeing so far, there's much more. So pretty much what this could mean is that it makes it that much easier to get to that bank money when the time is right. And it looks like the time is near. Some of the lawyers are saying, I've heard another few opinions saying mid 2025 could be the time when we get past this SEC stuff. There's a little bit left. Which to me is nothing really. We've come so far. But the time could be near. Could be. All right. This is my humble opinion. It says potentially reduce compliance, cause clearer path for expansion. Look, there's so many things here. Business model impacts. I mean, I'm going to leave it there, right? Stuff like that gets me excited, right? I'm here to make some money. That's why I'm here. All right. So, I do love research, but I'm here primarily for that bank money. We're going to get to it. So now that's how I feel. So now let's move on here to a little bit of Bitcoin news, because then we're going to get through this Bitcoin news. We got some Solana news coming up. We have some good stuff to cover today. This article is titled R Spot Bitcoin ETF Options Traders really expecting a $176,000 Bitcoin price. I mean, does that seem too out there? Does that seem crazy? When Bitcoin just hit $99,000, you look at the rapid rise from Bitcoin from where it used to be to now $99,000 touching that mark. I mean, I didn't expect it to go this fast. They're almost in my range. They passed 80,000. That was my low number. We're almost in that high range with my 100,000 to 150,000. We're almost right in there. I mean, so is 176 really that outlandish? You tell me. BlackRock's IBIT BTC options launch was a success, but how realistic are traders' high six-figure Bitcoin price expectations? It says options on BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF made waves on November the 19th when its newly launched market recorded $1.9 billion in trading volume. 1x, a handful of analysts deemed the launch a success after the day wrapped up with a startling imbalance in contracts. There were 288,740 call buy options compared to 64,970 put sell instruments, or a staggering 4.4 to 1 ratio. On the surface, this suggests overwhelming bullish sentiment. Overwhelming. Crypto, listen, there may be little corrections here and there, little dips here and there, but it's just my opinion. Have your own, right? Of course, I gotta make that clear. That I don't think anything is going to take crypto off this bullish run. Not right now. And I'm looking at a bunch of different negative catalysts, and I just don't see them having the power to significantly disrupt for a significant amount of time, disrupt this upward trajectory. Now, could there be a severe correction? Yes. Yeah, sure. For how long? Before everything goes up again? That's the question. I'm looking at time periods. I don't think for a significant length of time. Could there be a significant correction? Yes. Significant length of time? I don't feel that way. There's too much bullishness in the air right now. I think if things do correct at some point, severe correction goes down significantly, I think we're going to see the trend that we've been seeing from the so-called pro companies that follow this, that every time things go down, those institutions, those companies are buying it up again. They're buying the dips. It's not about the retail anymore. Oh, retail buy the dip. Oh, retail dollar cost average. It's not about that anymore. Now, crypto is being led by the institutions. So if that trend is going to continue, and not only continue, but we read an article recently which confirms that a lot of companies are still getting into Bitcoin, right? We read that here on the channel. So there's going to be an increase, theoretically speaking, an increase in that activity. If there is an increase in that activity, then the bullish sentiment remains and the upward trajectory continues. And then there should theoretically be a rapid recovery. I mean, I'm just playing with ideas here. Of course, it could go in a different direction, but I think that is the prominent energy right now. It says here, on the surface suggests overwhelming bullish sentiment, with some contracts implying Bitcoin prices above 170,000. We've heard a lot of big companies say that they believe it's going to 200,000. We heard one say 500,000. We heard individuals say 1 million. I don't know about 1 million, but hey, listen, I'm not shooting it down. I just know I'm not holding Bitcoin till 1 million. No, I don't plan on doing that. I don't plan on doing it. That's just me. But we've heard a lot of high numbers. I don't know how high it's going to go. I'm sticking to my range. I'm dead serious. I'm sticking to my range, but I'm not beyond thinking, could it hit 170,000? Yes, I do think that. I don't know when, but I do feel like it could hit 170,000. I don't think that's unreasonable at all. So now let's go here. I had 3 Bitcoin articles. Let's just choose one of the best ones out of this, because I don't know how long this video is now. I don't want to make it too long, and I want to get to that Solana and Hedera. We have a Solana and Hedera to get to. And I want to cover those. So we have one article here titled Bitcoin Address Wakes Up After Lying Low Over 12 Years. And then we have Bitcoin Teleportation. Let's do that one. That one sounds better. That one sounds better. Okay, because they're talking that price to us. And the other one's just talking about an individual wallet. So Bitcoin teleportation, quote unquote, due as traders bet on Bitcoin price passing $100,000. It says Bitcoin has a, quote, big day ahead as a final push to $100,000 mark begins ahead of the Wall Street Open. All right, let's scroll down here. And it continues on. Bitcoin made snap gains on November 21st as a liquidity squeeze took Bitcoin price action to near $100,000. What Coinbase told me was 99,000, but you could term that as 100,000. But when it comes to numbers and money, I like to be a little bit more accurate. I don't want to estimate. Like don't round it off up to 100,000. Like it was 99, then it was 99. Did it touch 100,000? Did you see that? Maybe they just didn't. I mean, they don't give you all the notifications. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I did. Anyway, it says data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed what Trader Skew called a quote pop unquote into final ask liquidity before the key six-figure Bitcoin price barrier, up nearly 3% on the day at the time of writing. BTC/USD was less than $3,000 from a historic achievement. Quote, if large sellers are to make a stand, it's here. Also in game theory, it makes sense in terms of front-running $100,000 ask liquidity, unquote, Skew said in a post on X. Quote, I think any deep sweep from here is a bid. Well, sounds familiar, doesn't it? Else price will continue to go parabolic above $100,000, unquote. A further post noted that new ask liquidity was beginning to arrive on exchange order books above $100,000, something notionally cathartic for price. Quote, new ask liquidity showing up here is a good confirmation of the market starting to price above $100,000, unquote, Skew wrote. This article is titled Kraken's founder, Jesse Powell, backs Brian Brooks for SEC chair. Kraken founder sees Brooks' crypto-savvy approach aligning with the SEC's core mission amidst leadership speculations. Jesse Powell, the founder of Kraken Exchange, has voiced strong support for Brian Brooks, the former acting U.S. comptroller of currency, as the next chair of Securities and Exchange Commission. Powell highlighted Brooks' broad expertise in a November 19th post on X, noting that his understanding extends beyond crypto to the SEC's regulatory mandate and defined limits. Powell also criticized the SEC's current state, suggesting it has deviated significantly from its core responsibilities, harming U.S. businesses and financial markets in the process. Fox Business reporter Eleanor Terrett confirmed that Brooks is being considered for various financial regulatory roles, including that of the SEC. Terrett reported that other agencies Brooks is being considered for include the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, the Office of Comptroller of Currency, OCC, the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, the Financial Stability Oversight Council, FSOC, and Federal Reserve. Meanwhile, Brooks' candidacy comes amidst recent speculation about who will succeed Gary Gensler as SEC chair. Other potential candidates include Robinhood's chief legal officer, Dan Gallagher, SEC Commissioner Hester Pierce, Commissioner Mark Uyeda, and former CFTC chair Christopher Giancarlo, also known as, quote, Crypto Dad. All right, so now let's go here for a moment. All right, where is that Solana article? Here we go. Oh, I found it. Ooh, I found it quickly. I have so many tabs open, but it makes it good because then I get to choose which article is best. I'm just scrolling through as I'm reading. That's why sometimes I get a little distracted. I'm trying to decide which article to do because we don't have a whole lot of time here. Now, this one is titled Bitwise Registers Solana Trust Signaling Future SEC Application. I told you Solana is in the game. It's super duper bullish. Bitwise Asset Management has taken a significant step launching the spot Solana exchange traded fund. On November 20th, the company registered a statutory trust in Delaware through CSC Delaware Trust, signaling plans to file with Securities and Exchange Commission for approval. Bitwise CEO Hunter Horsley confirmed the registration in a November 20th post on X, but withheld further details. What next? Launching the ETF requires Bitwise to submit a 19B-4 and S1 forms to the SEC. If approved, the ETF would track Solana's market price, offering investors exposure to the fourth largest crypto by market capitalization. The ETF would face competition from other firms like Van Eck and Canary Capital, which are also pursuing spot Solana ETFs. While Bitwise has not disclosed ETF's ticker or intended exchange, it could join its other funds listed on the NYSE ARCA. It says Solana's rise in the ETF landscape reflects its growing market appeal. The digital asset has surged 354%, and I love every second of it, over the past year, bolstered by increasing institutional interest. I don't see that stopping anytime soon. See, Solana has a loyal fan base, but it also has tech that is desirable to the institutions, right? Same thing with Chainlink, same thing with Ripple and all of the different bank coins. They're going to continue to draw this interest. And at some point, once we're in a certain position, I expect them to be gobbled up, for lack of a better word, by those institutions. And then, just my humble opinion, not financial advice, then we will take that bank money. Listen, there's a lot of money on the table right now. You got the B2B money, you have RWAs in there as well. But my focus remains on that bank money, right? I've got to stay. That's the base right there. Everything else comes after that. That's the base. Interbank payments dominating the U.S. once we're unleashed. And I think things can happen rapidly. But listen, I don't work for those companies, but I believe we're very similar in how we would like to operate. This article is titled, "Cooperating with SpaceX, Hedera Hashgraph will bring crypto transaction devices to space." And then it begins here. Hedera Hashgraph plans to bring crypto transaction technology into space. To realize this plan, Hedera develops a rocket company. What do you mean developed for the rocket company, SpaceX? Hedera's collaboration, I don't know, maybe that's a typo. You let me know. Hedera's collaboration with SpaceX was revealed by a leading crypto investor, an expert named Sean, on November 15th. Why is it being reported now? In this project, I didn't hear anything about this. See how news gets buried? Did you hear something about this? I didn't. In this project, Hedera will be the main platform to facilitate at least I don't remember hearing about this, but then again, I could forget. There's so much news happening. It's possible to forget. Hedera will be the main platform to facilitate inter-satellite crypto transactions, potentially revolutionizing payment networks between satellites and transverse and space transactions. It's interesting. Hedera was shown because of its technology, which is more efficient than traditional blockchain. I've been telling people that. Hashgraph is not blockchain. It's superior in many ways, right? Although blockchain is very advanced. According to Sean, Hedera is able to process trillions of transactions per second. Well, in a blog post, Sean described 5 main applications of Hashgraph technology in space, including secure satellite communications and payments, asteroid resource tokenization. Wait, what? It says to space traffic management. This technology also allows smart contracts for autonomous space vehicles that can make decisions independently based on real time. Now, autonomous space vehicles, I would need more details on that. They can do everything on their own. Sure, autonomous, that's what it means. But do you put people in that? At some point, you do want to, they claim they want to have to get people into certain places and things like that. Then you have the problem of solving the Van Allen belt radiation. I'm not understanding how they are getting past that. Now there's low, we'll discuss that another time. So now that I really don't know how long this video is, we're going to leave off on that today. So we'll just cover this a little bit when it comes to gold. UBS joins GS in forecasting gold's rally isn't over. Gold will rally to $2,900 an ounce by the end of next year, according to UBS Group AG, echoing a call from Goldman Sachs. It says for further gains as central banks expand their holdings. I did not say, I said this recently. I told you, I don't feel like the central banks are going to stop collecting gold anytime soon. I just don't. All the catalysts are there. It's become a necessity. There's likely to be a period of consolidation due to the stronger dollar and concerns over the potential for more U.S. fiscal stimulus to lead to higher rates before the precious metal starts climbing again, UBS analysts, including Levi Spry and Lachlan Shaw, said in a note. Bullion would rise a little further to $2,950 an ounce by the end of 2026, they said. All right, so now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.